Riley here. Welcome to the No Spin News for Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. Stand up for your country. Well, two major stories. The president's speech, which I think is still going on. He just took a break to go out to the head and then he came back. Longest speech in congressional history as far as the president is concerned. And then you had the hearings today in the House Oversight Committee with the four very left-wing mayors that, they don't think they have to obey federal law. That was an interesting hearing. We'll get to both of those things, but let's begin with Mr. Trump last night. The headline is, if everything that Donald Trump laid out in 1 hour and 45 minutes comes true, he'll be on Mount Rushmore. They'll have to make a little space for him, or maybe he'll buy his own mountain, but he'll become one of the greats. But that's a huge if, because a lot of the things he's trying to do are very, very difficult, as we all know. And he's only been in office 6 weeks. So every president says, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do, yeah. They all do it. But Trump, he's got this vision. And if it does play out, he catapults himself way up there. The second story, which I think is even more important than the first, is that the Democratic Party is in complete disarray. Hannity locked into this today. I was on his radio program. We have that posted on BillO'Reilly.com, as we do every week, about the disintegration of the Democratic Party in front of the nation and the world. They wouldn't applaud for people who deserved applause. They were mean. And Trump did taunt them. There's no doubt Trump did. He taunted them. But boy, that Democratic Party is in disarray. And I'll get into it pretty micro here. So this guy, Al Green, a congressman from Texas, he got a lot of attention because he got booted out and he was yelling or something. I mean, this guy, he is a popinjay. There you go, word of the day. He's a popinjay. You can look it up. And he doesn't mean anything. He's not a serious man. He looks like he's something out of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, this guy. All right? So he gets kicked out, and here's what he says. Go.
I'm willing to suffer whatever punishment is available to me. I didn't say to anyone, don't punish me. I've said I'll accept the punishment, but it's worth it to let people know that there are some of us who are going to stand up against this president's desire to cut Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security.
No, Mr. Trump has no desire to do that, nor has he promoted anything that would result in cuts for those entitlements. Now, is Green lying? Yeah, in a way he's lying, but he's convinced himself, because that's what he wants to believe. He wants to believe Trump wants to cut all of these entitlements and give the money to the rich people. You've heard it a million times. That's what he wants to believe. So he's kind of talked himself into it. All right, that's not an excuse. I'm making an excuse for him. He's still lying because there's nothing on the record at all, and there won't be. Donald Trump's going to cut these programs. He's not. All right? In fact, the programs are going to go on and on and on and on until Congress decides to up the age, and that's what's likely to happen, but not anytime soon. So Green lives in a world of his own. He doesn't matter for all the reasons that I mentioned. But more importantly, when you have the sister and the mother of Laken Riley, and they're in the gallery, and President Trump cites the 22-year-old college student in Georgia who was murdered, allegedly by a Venezuelan undocumented migrant. When you have them there, and you don't applaud and you don't show any sympathy, there's something wrong with you. Roll the tape.
Last year, I told Laken's grieving parents that we would ensure their daughter would not have died in vain. That's why the very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public safety. It's a very strong, powerful act. It's called the Laken Riley Act. So Allison and Lauren, America will never, ever forget our beautiful Laken Hope Riley.
No demonstration of assent by the Democratic Party. They don't like that bill. That's tough. Then you had the 95-year-old grandmother who asked President Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, to get her son released from Russia because Putin threw him in a cell for no reason, and Trump got him out. Do you have any emotion from the Democratic Party on that? Then you had a kid with cancer. On and on and on. I just sat there. And one of the really weird, bizarre things was when President Trump was again taunting the Democrats about Ukraine. Go.
The United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense with no security, with no anything. Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes.
Now, this is bizarre. So I wrote a message of the day on BillO'Reilly.com, said Vietnam, left was against it, okay? Iraq war, left was against it. Afghanistan, left didn't want it. Killing Soleimani, left wing objected. Biden wouldn't okay the raid to get bin Laden. Advised President Obama against it. So all of that is history. In the modern era, the left, Elizabeth Warren, those people, they don't want war. They want peace at any price. Okay, but now, when Trump, and I do believe he will get this deal soon, okay, no, they don't want it. No. And it's all because of Trump. They hate him so much that they won't applaud for Laken Riley's mom and sister. They won't applaud for a 95-year-old grandmother. And they won't say, yeah, it'd be better to stop this Ukrainian thing, even if we have to fake it on Putin, even if we have to, patronize him a little bit. So it's disturbing to me. And you're witnessing the Democratic Party fall apart. So Hannity asked me today, and it was pretty interesting. He said, well, did you ever see anything like this? I said, yeah, I have. And in 1929, when the stock market crashed and the Great Depression kept hold, Americans were suffering badly. And Herbert Hoover was a Republican president. And Hoover basically told the suffering American people, we're not going to help you. And the Republican Congress said, nah, we're not going to do anything. You got to get it out on your own. We're not going to set up a bunch of programs. That led to 5 terms for Democrats. 5. 4 from FDR, 1 for Truman, okay, and then finally Dwight Eisenhower got it in the 50s. That was a destruction of the Republican Party. We're watching the same thing play out with the Democratic Party now. And it's a very, very fascinating, and it's almost self-destruction, because they've got to know. I mean, you had a girl there last night, Peyton, and News Nation had an interview with her, very articulate girl, playing high school sports against a trans guy, volleyball, and the trans guy goes up and smashes the volleyball against the girl's head, resulting in brain damage. And you have this Democrats sitting over there going, we don't want to stop that. No, let's bring on more trans guys to play against women and girls. That's insane. And that's why the party is unraveling. Trump's one of the luckiest presidents in United States history because his opposition hates him so much that they're destroying themselves. And hatred will do that to you. You'll destroy yourself. It's exactly what's happening. Now, the other complicated issue with tariffs. We just announced today that Trump is suspending the tariffs on cars coming from Canada and Mexico. Okay? I knew this was going to happen. And the tariff thing will work itself out. but it's complicated. But beginning April 2nd, President Trump said, look, Biden ran up a $1.2 trillion trade deficit. That means $1.2 trillion went out, all right, to other countries, and we were down in the hole. Trump wants to even it out. So he says, if you charge us 20% for Ford or Chevy, we're charging you 20% for Mercedes or whatever. It's going to be even. Not Biden just saying, I don't care if anybody charges this tariff. We're not going to do anything about it. I think Biden, my God. So that's what this is all about. And I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if the U.S. economy is going to be impacted negatively. I know the stock market's shaky. Anybody who can read knows that. Business doesn't like it, but 1.2 trillion trade deficit, something's got to be done about it. And Trump is trying. Okay, so here's what he says about the tariff. Go.
On average, the European Union, China, Brazil, India, Mexico, and Canada, have you heard of them? And countless other nations charge us tremendously higher tariffs than we charge them. It's very unfair. India charges us auto tariffs higher than 100%. China's average tariff on our products is twice what we charge them.
That means to get American products into China, India, Mexico, and Canada, the companies have to pay those governments to allow the products in. All right? And Trump says, all right, you're going to do that. Then your products from India and China, you got to pay us the same amount. That's what this is about. Okay. So all in all, I think it was a big win for Donald Trump last night. The snap polls say it was. I don't trust those. But he got his points across. He taunted his opposition into more self-destructive behavior. And the happiest guy in that room last night had to be J.D. Vance. They got no one to put again. They got nothing. Midterms? I don't know. Trump's got to put a few wins on the board economically, though. He'll get the Ukraine thing settled, I think. But economically, you got to watch that. And that's a memo. We don't talk enough about those truly making a positive impact. So let's take a moment to discuss Delta Rescue, the world's largest no-kill care-for-life animal sanctuary. Home to more than 1,500 rescued animals. It is staffed by trained specialists who provide lifelong care, love, and safety. They do incredible work. But look, it's important to remember that Delta Rescue relies solely on contributions from us. I have donated, and so should you. Their founder, Leo Grillo, built a legacy of dedication and everlasting love for animals. So consider making it a part of your legacy too. Talk with an estate planner. Check out the estate planning tab at deltarescue.org. You can make a difference, even get potential tax benefits. So please visit deltarescue.org today to learn more. deltarescue.org. We got a letter from Senator Cynthia Loomis from Wyoming's guy, Joe Jackson, said the reason that Senator Loomis missed the trans vote, she's a Republican, she would have voted for the law to ban that, is she was ill. And we are happy to mention that. We did not know that. YouTube, I got Putin analysis. It's free, youtube.com/Bill O'Reilly. Want to get 1 million by Easter, so sign up. You'll like it. Let's go to the mail. William. Democrats have shown their true colors by voting against the Women in Sports Protection Act. Only 2 Democrats voted for it. Absolutely true. If you are okay with that, and that woman last night, Peyton, I'll never forget her. Brain injury from this, and you're still supporting that? Wow. Maureen, someone enlighten me. How are Democrats blocking the no men in sports if the GOP has both the Senate and House majority? Because in the Senate, you cannot advance a bill to the floor unless you get 60 votes. It's different from the House. That's the rules. Dr. Paul Bifanis, Itapena, Brazil. Are the administration's efforts to engage Putin in peace talks leading us toward appeasement? No, I don't think it's appeasement. It's stop. Stop. I don't think that Putin's going to get a car to do other bad stuff. I could be wrong. They want to stop it at this point in history. Robert Slaney, Port Washington, New York. Today's world, does the USA need to be a member of NATO? Yeah. We need support against the bad guys. Irene Donald, Bedford, Mexico. I live in Baja, and I see the heightened presence by Mexican army. I'm not sure what it means. It means that finally the Mexican government is trying to stop some of the migration. I don't think they're stopping the drug traffic, but they're trying to stop the migration because they're afraid of Trump. Irene, be safe down there. It isn't safe. Jason Vaz, Katori, Japan. I have to wonder why President Zelensky did not choose to use an interpreter while speaking to President Trump. I thought it was an unwritten rule that foreign dignitaries do that. No. Zelensky speaks English fairly well. He didn't need an interpreter. Marilyn Allison, Carmel, Indiana. Is freedom of speech equally applicable to non-citizens? Once you are here, you set foot on American soil, got constitutional rights. Robert Reynolds, Nashville, Tennessee. I watch you on YouTube. I've watched you 30 years. You're insightful and honest, and I have no use for the other media outlets. Well, you're saving a lot of time and grief, Robert. We will have it here on BillO'Reilly.com, on all our radio and TV outlets. We will tell you the truth. Charles Davis, Aurora, Illinois. Mr. O, your interaction with Stephen A. and Chris Cuomo on News Nation has changed my opinion of those. Not so fast. Not so fast. I'm going to shoot some of the Three Americans tour on March 30th. We're going to have 3 cameras there, and we'll play a little bit. But if you want to see the whole boot, you got to go. March 30th, Westbury, Long Island. Go to BillO'Reilly.com. I'll link you right over. Get good seats. But this is going to be better than a Taylor Swift concert. Excuse me, I got a little frog in my throat. It's going to be better. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to have some fun. Three Americans tour, live, March 30th, Long Island. Come from everywhere, all over the place. All right, go to our store. We got Confronting the President, 6 months on the New York Times bestseller list. 6 months. If you haven't read it, there's a reason why it's on the list for 6 months. We got the not woke gear. Trump said last night that woke is dead. Okay, let's celebrate with not woke gear. I got to get a picture of the president wearing a not woke hat. And go to our newsletter. Sign up for our newsletter. Another freebie. We're giving you stuff. Where did they not be odious? O-D-I-O-U-S. Odious. Okay, back with a final thought in a moment. Getting quality sleep is not easy, and without it, all aspects of our lives will suffer. Thankfully, there's a solution. Beam's Dream Powder. This healthy hot cocoa has already transformed sleep for many. With delicious flavors like cinnamon, cocoa, sea salt, caramel. It's only 15 calories and 0 grams of sugar per serving. Guilt-free and effective. Dream's all-natural ingredients like magnesium, melatonin, help you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up refreshed. It's easy to add to your nighttime routine. Just mix it up with hot water or milk before bed. Want to try Beam's best-selling Dream Powder? You can get up to 40% off for a limited time at shopbeam.com/Bill and use code BILL at checkout. That's shop, BEAM.com/Bill, code BILL for up to 40% off. The IRS is the largest collection agency in the world, and with April 15th fast approaching, their enforcement is already ramped up. So, if you owe back taxes or have unfiled returns, waiting is not an option. The smart move is to get ahead of this, but never contact the IRS alone. Let the experts at Tax Network USA do it for you. They have a preferred direct line to the IRS, so they know which agents to deal with and which to avoid. Whether you owe $10,000 or $10 million, Tax Network USA can help. Their attorneys and negotiators have already resolved more than $1 billion in tax debt. Talk with their strategists today, free. Protect yourself from property seizures, bank levies. Please call 800-958-1000 or visit tnusa.com/bill. April 15th, right around the corner. Act now. So, the aforementioned Stephen A. Smith on The View yesterday, he has said it. He regrets voting for Kamala Harris, and he's not a big fan of the Democratic Party. Go.
I think so. I don't like what I'm seeing from Trump. I didn't like what I saw with Zelensky. I didn't like what I saw with a few things. But in the end, I didn't like it. But in the end, what it comes down to is this. The American people, in their eyes, it wasn't about him. They were voting against what the Democrats were throwing in their direction.
Now, he's going to have to slow down in his live presentation. But he's an interesting guy, Smith. So it's three diverse points of view on the Three Americans tour. And again, we hope you check us out. And that is it for us today. All right, thank you very much for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.